Good evening, y'all. Let me check my microphone real quick because let me see. Sorry, y'all. I was about to check it. Yep, looks like I'm good. Um, Hi, y'all. Happy Wednesday. I am Shelly B, a conservative Black sister surviving in a hot mess world. And today's hot mess is, how to break karmic cycles and negative patterns that we repeat constantly in our lives. Now, this one is for men and women, old and young, of every walk of life, because we all do this. And, I have done this multiple times, especially in relationships. And I really wanted to understand, why do we do this? And I did come up with some solutions to the problems and some answers today. But before we get into that, please like, share, and subscribe to this page. Please support this channel and just, show me some love. Just click the like button. It doesn't take that much effort. Just do it and subscribe to the channel. I would really, really appreciate it, to help me catch this algorithm. Um, you know, and just to show me some love and support. I would really appreciate it. I'm not asking you for no money or anything like that. I'm just asking you to like, share, subscribe. You don't even have to share it unless you feel that you know it's inspiring to you in some way, or you feel somebody needs the information. That's like what I do. I see videos and information and I just share it with you guys, and that's why I'm here. So, share the love. That's all I gotta say. So let's get right to it. Okay, so as I was saying, um I had a very long day. I've been up since like 5 this morning. So I'm a little tired, but I'm going to get through it. I'm going to get through this, and this is not going to be that long. I always say that though. Don't I always say that? But hopefully it's not going to be that long. But I really had to come on here to talk about breaking negative patterns and cycles. Like I said, I'm talking to anybody that hears this video. If you come across this video, it's meant for you to hear it. But a lot of the times I'm really talking to my people because I feel like we have a lot of struggles, a lot of trauma that we've been through in this country, and it's just in our DNA and just being passed on and on. We have a lot of issues in our community as far as relationships, with men and women, love relationships, a lot of single parenthood, and a lot of instances where families are not married and not together. We just have a lot of issues, and we're being real. It is what it is. And I just feel like a lot of people struggle with this, and we always question ourselves, especially in relationships, like, why do I keep picking this same kind of person? Or even like with friends, you might pick friends that turn out to not be really loyal or users or whatever the case may be. And there's a reason for this, and it's a simple way to correct this problem, because I have done it in many other aspects of my life, like almost involuntary, not really knowing why I was moving in this way. But I'm gonna share some stuff with you guys today that I really hope that can really be helpful to you. I saw some videos and they just were very inspiring to me, so I'm gonna share them with you all. So I'm gonna present my screen. Um, yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay, y'all. So it's this. Oops, I'm on the wrong one. Y'all know, I'm still trying to get it together. But I'm gonna get it together, I promise you. Now I lost my hold on. Okay, here we go. This is the one I want. Let me reverse this. I'm so sorry, y'all. This streaming thing is kind of new to me. I'm gonna get, some muscle memory with this one day, but it's not today. Okay, let me see. Can I get it? There we go. Okay, let me put my earpiece on. So this was a very inspiring video. And I like inspiring things. So a lot of the times I spend time, I read a lot of books, but then I also like to look at inspirational videos a lot. So this one really was kind of touching to me. And I feel like this was very motivational and, will set us on the right path. Oh, this is not the one I wanted to show you guys first. My bad. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let me try again. Wrong video. Okay. This one, it should be this. Okay, I think is it this? Oh my God, y'all, I'm so sorry. Let me stop. Let's see this. I hope it's this one. I hope it's this one, y'all. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think this is it. Let's see. Yeah, this is it. Okay, this is it.
Touch 3 people and say, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Now, this is very important. That I like that the way this started off, because a lot of the times while we repeat the same patterns over and over again is because we just don't know how to let shit go. We're holding on to old shit, and you have to learn how to get rid of it to let in new energies.
Let it go. What?
Now they use TD fakes on here, and he a little entangled with Diddy, so I didn't know how to feel about this. But I'm just a person that believes the truth is the truth no matter who delivers it. And this video is a case of that.
You're gaining is not worth you're losing. Let it go. What you are getting is not worth what you are losing. Let it go. What you are doing with your energy, since you have a limited resource of power anyway, you are fueling your history at the expense of your destiny. Because whatever you're...
This is really important. I had to learn this. You have to let go of people and situations that are using up all your energy and not replenishing your energy. I had to learn, stop giving into stuff that's not going to give back to you. You got to let go of shit like that. That way you can make room for a more positive outcome, more positive people to come into your life. You elevate your frequency when you let go of things like that. It's like you're giving up so much of your energy that there is no room for anybody else. There is no room to do anything else. You're so entangled with somebody that's giving you nothing emotionally. There is no room for a better relationship.
Angry about is something that has already happened, and whatever God has promised you is something that is about to happen, but you don't have the energy to step into what is about to happen because you're spending too much fuel.
There you go. If you want these wonderful things to happen in your life, you have to get rid of the garbage. To take out the trash and clean up and make room for the new things that the universe or God wants you to have. You have to let things go.
What used to happen, that's why you keep going back to the same things over and over again, because you can't drive forward looking in the rear view mirror.
A person, a man or woman of God who really intends to follow God and to walk with power knows better than to let that happen, because the truth is, even if he would have gotten mad at all of them, it wouldn't have hurt them, it would have only hurt him. The reason why God asks us to forgive is for us, because we're not free when we're full of all that anger.
And when you don't forgive, it really is using up energy that you could have been using for something else. You got to forgive that, let it go, and move on, because that is just a waste of your energy. Someone put it to me that your energy is like money, and you have to really be frugal on how you're going to spend your energy. Somebody that you're not even fucking with no more, somebody that don't treat you right, or somebody that did you dirty is a waste of your money. Think of it like money. It's a waste of your money. It's a waste of your energy to even spend 5 seconds thinking about somebody like that.
And bitterness. And it really doesn't change the other person. Why should you be miserable and mad for years and years while the person you're mad at's out having a good time and don't even care that you're mad?
They ain't thinking about your ass. So why are you using all this energy to be mad and bitter and angry and wanting revenge and all this and that? That takes a lot of energy.
I mean, come on, we're smarter than that. Can anybody say I'm smarter than that?
I'm smarter than that.
Touch your neighbor and say, I'm going to break this cycle tonight. I'm going to break this cycle. I'm going to break it tonight.
Y'all know that people are not good for you. Your spirit will tell you. You'll be vexed all the time. You arguing with this person all the time, or you just feel uncomfortable in a situation, whether it be work, a love relationship, friends, whatever. You feel it. You know it. It's like you just have to have better discernment and let that go. Let it go. Forgive yourself for being stupid and falling for the okie doke or whatever. If you felt used or cheated on or whatever, and move on.
Break it tonight. I'm going to break it tonight. I'm too old to keep going through the same stuff. I'm tired of arguing with you.
Listen, if I'm talking to young people tonight, don't get too old to go through it. Learn it today. I wish I learned this when I was younger. Learn it right now. Don't waste your time on people that are not pouring back into you. Don't waste your time being angry at people that do you dirty or whatever. Just know you're going to see later on in this live of what's going to happen to the people that do that and what's going to happen to you for having certain behaviors where you're not harboring resentment.
About the same thing. I'm tired of letting you control me. I'm going to break that thing tonight.
And there you go. You're allowing somebody to control you. You're allowing somebody be in control of your emotions, of your time, and all these things. And then you're resentful. You have to be real with yourself. It's all your fault. It's all your fault why you're going through what you're going through, because you don't have to put up with it. I had met this woman. I did this job program, and I had met this woman, and she had just did like 25 years in prison for killing her husband. I always think of this story when I hear about things like this, because it just resonated with me. And from that moment, that lady changed my life. But she had just spent 25 years in prison for killing her husband. She stabbed him like umpteen times because he used to beat her and abuse her and everything. And I was like, wow, that's really messed up. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, Dad, that's so messed up. And she was like, it's all my fault. And I was like, I said, it's not your fault. Why would you think it's your fault? And she said, because I should have left him the first time he ever put his hands on me. And I was like, so there you go, folks. She took responsibility for that, because it's true. If you allow somebody to mistreat you, that is on you. And I'm sure the 25 years she was in prison, she must have forgiven herself and moved on. She became a counselor for women or whatever. But, this little old white lady, I would have never believed she would have stabbed her husband 25 times and however many times she stabbed him. So that's something to really think about. Like, you have to blame yourself for any situations that you're in. My uncle used to always say that any bad thing that happens in your life is always somebody there to help it along. You understand? You have to question yourself. Why are you allowing this person to take me through this? Why are you allowing this person to ruin my life or make me feel this way? You have to really get to the bottom of why you're allowing that shit. You really do.
You have a mission in life. I have a mission in life. Each one of us don't have the same mission, but we all have a mission.
Sorry, y'all.
And if nothing else, we need to grow as believers. We need to stay on the journey and keep pressing in and pressing on and grow up and mature as believers so we can be a light in a dark place. And one of the most major things that Satan uses against people to cause them to stumble and no longer make progress is offense, bitterness, resentment, and unforgiveness. When your spirit gets full of that, you cannot grow spiritually. I want to make sure you hear that. When your spirit and your soul gets full of that, you cannot grow.
So let's pause right here. What is she saying? Resentments, bitterness. When you feel offended, you feel somebody did you wrong and you holding on and oh, this person did me dirty and you thinking about it all the time in your whole life. I see people that was married or whatever, and they still bitter. It's been 25 years ago that whatever happened. And it's like you're still harboring resentment, bitterness, unforgiveness, and you feel offended, resentment, all these things. You gotta let that go. You got to let that go, because that's going to make you vibrate at a low frequency. You're going to understand what I'm saying if you don't understand about vibrations, frequency, and all that, because it's like lightening your load. The more you get rid of all these negative emotions and stuff like that, you're going to be lighter. You're going to vibrate at a lighter frequency, at a higher frequency. You're going to elevate. As long as you have all this stuff holding you down, you're just going to draw in another frequency right in that frequency with you. That's what I had to learn too. Like if I wanted to stop getting this fucked up person, I had to elevate my frequency because I got tired. I was like, when you take responsibility for yourself, you're going to realize it's me. You know, I am not in the right frequency for the kind of person I want. You understand? So let me work on myself and try to elevate myself into the realm of the people that I want to be with. And I'm telling you, and it works wonders, and it don't take long to do. It's just a matter of making a conscious decision to know what the problem is and executing it. And that's it. In a matter of weeks or so, you'll start elevating and you'll start feeling better. Trust me, I'm telling you.
Spiritually. One more time. When your spirit and your soul and your mind gets full of that, you cannot grow spiritually. You stumble at those places and you stop making progress.
It makes you wonder, where did this come from? They didn't teach it in school. You didn't get it out of a book. How did you end up in this cycle of grief, anger, bitterness, hostility, unforgiveness, even against yourself? You don't even forgive yourself. How did you get like this?
And you got to forgive yourself too, because a lot of times you might have a lot of embarrassment that you allow somebody to treat you that way, or you feel like a fool because somebody played you, whatever the case may be, and you dragging that around. And like you got to forgive yourself first. I feel like you got to start with yourself in all of these situations. You got to start with yourself first. You got to work on yourself first, and then all of the rest you'll be able to do.
We don't see it in the animal kingdom. Animals do fight, but they either fight over turf or food. They don't fight because she thinks she's cute.
How about that? Why are humans the only ones to be jealous of somebody, hating and shit, and all divided over some dumb worldly thing? Because like he's saying, the animals don't do that. You're in my personal space, or you're trying to take my food. That's about all they're gonna fight over. You know what I mean? Like we have to really look at ourselves as human beings. Why do we carry on like this?
You took my boyfriend 25 years ago, and I'm still mad at you 25 years later, and I'm gonna hop across this fence.
Like I don't really like. I had a lot of bullies when I was in school. When I was younger, for some reason, I don't have no resentment to any of those people. Like. And I really do feel like naturally that I'm a person to not really harbor resentment. And I feel like that's a lot of the reason why I feel like I will get taken advantage of a lot of the times. But you're going to find that when you forgive yourself and you forgive them and you move on, that's not going to stop you from your character. Those people are going to get what they're supposed to get because of the laws of karma, and you're going to get what you're going to get. You might not get what you're supposed to get from that person, but I guarantee you, universe or God is going to repay you for the things that you've done. So you don't have to worry about getting resentment and getting back at the person if they truly were wrong. You understand? Now, if you was wrong, you might get the karma for it or whatever. And if that's not the case, it's just a lesson that needs to be learned. I just take everything as a lesson and move on. It's no reason to, beat yourself up, beat the person up. Sometimes people, they have a lot of trauma and a lot of shit wrong with them too, why they act the way you act. You just got to forgive them and just move on. That's it. You ain't got to stay with them and try to change them and try to help them and all that. You just, forgive them and move on.
But bite your neck. You don't see animals having feuds. You don't see that in the animal kingdom. As long as you don't mess with what I'm eating, we cool. We don't see it in children. You can punish a child, and 30 minutes later, they're hugging your leg, talking about, "Mommy, I love you, mommy." They can get in a fight with the kid across the street, and the grown folks are mad for 6 weeks, and the kid just wants to go outside and play. You didn't come here being unforgiving. It is a learned behavior.
I thought that was very fascinating because that is true about kids that, and I've seen it with my son. He have fights with his friends and the next day or hours later they back playing and they fine, and I feel like adults, they're just, if you look at the world right now, everybody's so divided over politics and stuff like that and it's just so meaningless. You know what I mean? So what? I don't think like you. Who cares? Why is that something to fight over? People think like your way of thinking is getting in the way of their good life or whatever, and it's not. It's the way that you think and how you move that's going to get in the way of your good life. It doesn't have anything to do. Even in the worst recession and the worst times in history, there's people that thrive during those times. There's always going to be somebody that benefited from that shit, or there's somebody came up with some good idea or something or whatever. It don't have to be bad. It's what you're thinking, is what you're manifesting. You're going to learn about this a little bit later too. What you're thinking is what you're going to bring to fruition. You have to think more positively to elevate your frequency.
Where did I learn it? I didn't go to school for it. I didn't take a class on it. I didn't get a tape series on it. You learned it in your house from your parents.
Now, see, I feel like parents get a bad rap. Like they want to blame everything on your parents, but that's really no excuse, honestly. Like if you come from a bad background, there's people that come from a bad background that don't choose to act like that. You know what I mean? I kind of don't like when they blame the parents, because I feel like sometimes, like I said, it's just certain lessons that you're supposed to learn in life. And when you don't master it, it's like you flunked the grade. It's like you're going to keep repeating it and repeating it, repeat till you learn what it is you're supposed to learn out of that situation. Unfortunately, sometimes you might not have the right parents to guide you in certain ways or to tell you things like that. I try to teach my son stuff like that young, but sometimes your parents may not know, like, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes your life experiences, you might be in relationships and tolerating and it causes you to be jaded. You understand? So it's like, I don't want to put it all on the parents, because I just don't believe that is. I feel like life can beat your ass no matter how good your parents are, no matter how loving of parents you have. How many serial killers had both parents? I really look at that. So that doesn't really have anything to do with it. And I just feel like they scapegoat the parents a lot, because I feel like everybody is responsible for their own behavior unless you have some type of mental disruption. You're responsible. Just because somebody did something mess up to you don't mean that you got to do it to somebody else, is the point I'm making.
Family or people who nurtured you. You learn conflict resolution by the people around you. If your mama got mad and broke stuff, now you get mad and break stuff. If your daddy would get mad and walk out and stay gone for 2 days, now you have avoidance issues. And rather than...
I think I get much more mad than my mother did. And I always tell my mom, when I'd be like, oh, Mom, I'm so sorry how we used to carry on. Because I feel like she did have a lot of patience. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really honestly ever remember her like really yelling at me really loud or nothing like that. We got a couple spankings when we were little or whatever, but I just don't. I feel like she was very much more calm as a parent than I was. You know what I'm saying? I didn't learn that from her. I just feel like everybody's different as far as their behavior, and everybody's responsible for their behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel as patient sometimes as my mother was. You know what I mean? I had to really work on that, and once I had my son, that really helped me a lot to learn patience. And I still could, work on patience, you know what I'm saying? But like, I just feel like everybody is their own human being, and everybody is different, and some people have really messed up parents and they've gone through traumas and stuff. And I've had my fair share of trauma in life too, but once you get to a certain age, though, I feel like you have to start taking responsibility for your own life once you're kind of grown, because you can't really use that excuse now, because you're big enough and wise enough now to know right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? And to try to be conscious of being a better version of yourself.
Confront an issue. Whenever you get mad, you leave.
I'm guilty of this. I don't really like confrontation like that because I know how I can get in a confrontation. So I try not to have the confrontation because I don't want to go off and turn into the Incredible Hulk. So I try to, diffuse situations. I really try to diffuse situations. I don't want to argue. I keep, I try to, if I'm in an energy with somebody that's very negative and they want to be fighting and arguing, I try to leave. I try to come out of the situation. Like I will walk away or leave when it's too conflicting or too much is the negative vibe is raising too much because I don't really feel like it's worth my energy to keep arguing with somebody past like a few exchanges. You know what I'm saying?
Or sulk, or bring up things over and over and over again.
Yeah, I had a boyfriend that was a straight nag, and I said, if I ever did this to somebody, I will never do this again. Like, and that's what I'm saying. It was a lesson because they say most women are nags, and I don't know if I was or not. I'm sure maybe I was at the time because most women do nag. But once I got a man that was a fucking nag, I said, God, if you get me away from this man, I swear I will never be a nag again because he who feels it knows it. So that's why I say, some of your negative relationships are lessons. So you have to really look at it and see what the lesson is and be honest with yourself if it is you.
This is a vicious cycle that passes from generation to generation to generation because we learn our coping mechanisms from our early childhood.
Now he keeps going back and saying about the childhood. That is true. I do believe that is true for some people, but then again, and this is supposed to be a person, TDJ says, so godly, but everybody is born with the spirit of God in them. Everybody is born with consciousness or whatever you want to call it. There's always going to be that voice inside you that's going to tell you that you're wrong. That's going to try to protect you from doing the wrong thing. That is always there with you. You're just choosing to ignore it. I try to teach my son this from when he was very, very small. You understand? It's there. So you can't always say, oh, it's somebody else's fault. You just chose not to listen to the warning. You just chose not to, trust your instincts, because a lot of times when you have a messed up partner in your life, or whether male or female, you feel that they're lying. You feel that they ain't right. You might even know from the first time to meet them that it ain't right, but you ignoring the feelings. You're ignoring your conscious, your spirit trying to tell you, nah, this person is not any good, but you feel it, and then once they cheat on you, then they get caught and you be like, I knew it. You knew it. I knew you were cheating. Yes, you knew, because your spirit was telling you all along, but you chose to ignore it. So you have to take responsibility. I get that people have childhood traumas and terrible parents, but that is a portion of the people. I don't feel that's true for everybody.
Development. We all have the same feelings and experiences, but how we express them is taught to us. If you are an unforgiving person, you have come from an unforgiving atmosphere where they define unforgiveness as strength. So you said, I'm a strong black woman. What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? Because everybody's supposed to be strong. Everybody has strength in them. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like there's anything special about you that you can make it on your own. I feel like that shows a weakness that you can't, work with others and build and do. You see what I'm saying? So, I've never been married. Not that I really think I need to be married, because I don't feel like I need to be married in order to have, a loving, lasting relationship with somebody. But, we have to look at that. Especially, especially black women, because he's talking about strong black women. But I think we have to really look at that, because I hear men say a lot of the times that women are too masculine, and that's why men don't like black women, because they are very masculine. I'm one of those women. I do not say I don't need a man. I say this all the time. I need a man for everything. I can't think of anything that I don't need a man to do. I mean, seriously, I mean, that's real shit. Like, if you really look at it, they do a lot. They are useful in a lot of ways. And I'm not just saying, if you look at the world without men, we would all die. Like, they just do so much important shit. And I don't know how society had came to be where being a masculine man is bad. Like, I don't see that. And I just feel like the men, you know, the men that don't fall into that trap of wimpiness, you know, it seems like it's getting less and less that you find a strong man. You know, can we get back to that? You know, I just feel like, you know, I don't even want to go there because I'm gonna say something that I'm gonna get canceled for.
Or a strong white woman. I mean, you know, pain is not prejudice. It is an equal opportunity experience. Where
shit, my white girlfriends is divorced and going through the same things too. It doesn't have anything to do with race. It really doesn't. And for some reason, society has made it where the women are starting to, even though women complain they don't make a lot of money, but like all of my friends I know, a lot of them make the same or more money than their partners that are male. So society has changed a lot.
Did you learn how to sulk and shut down as a man and not communicate for months or years, avoiding?
And see, I never had this problem really, because I always will say I don't like something or you hurt my feelings. It might not be in that moment, because sometimes I'd rather take the time to really think about what happened. Is it worth me saying anything? Am I really upset over, you know, like really mulling over before I respond. Like, you know, sometimes we have to learn how to do that. But I'm gonna always say, because I feel like if you tell somebody and they keep doing it, then they don't give a shit. You know, then they're being disrespectful. Now, that might have been a mistake. You came at me crazy the first time. You know, I told you, you know, but as I got older, I just really lost a lot of patience for that. Now, I done told you, and you're still being disrespectful. So this is not going to work for me. So, you know, you have to, you know, have boundaries.
Confrontation, but holding on to unforgiveness.
No matter how we feel, we can still choose to do the right thing. And when we do that, then we have power with God that will help us overcome every obstacle in our life, and God can still use us in a mighty way. You do not have to live by your feelings. You can press past anger and unforgiveness and still do what's right.
So now, God says, I want to bring you to still waters. But in order to give you what I have for you, you have got to release what you are holding on to. Because
now that's the thing. A lot of times you're not going to get that relationship, that job, or whatever you want in your life, because you're holding on to the past. You don't want to let go of what you have. You don't want to take that risk. You don't want to step out on faith. You know, you come into the water. You talking about taking you to still water. You got a boat that's full of shit. This shit's gonna sink. You're not gonna make it nowhere carrying all of that baggage around. You have to let go of that. It's just like me and my son every season. Let's clean out our closet so we can make room for new things. That's the same thing with your life and people. You have to look at these people sometimes and purge.
You cannot hold on to who you were and snatch who I want you to be.
And let me tell you something. If you decide that you want to change and you want to, elevate your frequency, you might have to really get rid of half of the people in your life. It's going to be painful. It's going to be horrible, but they're going to keep you in that low frequency if you don't get rid of these people. It's messed up, but it is what it is. And you just have to make a choice to step out on faith and not fear. And let me tell you something. If these people really care about you and they see you trying to be better, they're going to understand. They know they ain't shit.
You can't be those people at the same time. You have to decide, this is personal, this is private, it has nothing to do with your church, your pastor, your denomination. You can go to a great church, be in a great denomination, experience great word. This is a personal decision where you say, wait a minute, I'm too old to go through this again and again.
Now, can we please not get as old as this gentleman in this picture before we realize this and get to enjoy our damn lives, you know, because we don't want to get too old. I don't want to say, oh, I'm too old for this shit. You know, you're too old for it when you're 10 years old to be going through this. You know what I'm saying? That's why I've been teaching my son from a young age. You want to try to have the best quality life you have. And if you have the wrong people around you and they drag you, that's what it means. Somebody's dragging you down. They bringing your frequency down. They're bringing your vibration down to a low elevation, and then you're gonna be messed up with them. This story, I'm telling you, I love figure skating, and the figure skater Tanya Harding. This is a perfect example of this shit. You know, she had her career. She kind of fell off a little bit. She had this messed up husband. This messed up man. He was a hot ass mess, always fighting. You know, just being a hater to her and shit. I feel like he was just hating on her. He wanted to destroy her life. She was one of my favorite skaters. Tanya Harding, the poor white girl, and Soya Bonali from France, the black girl. Those were my two favorite skaters of all time. I digress. But Tanya Harding, she made a comeback. And she did the work, made a comeback, and then she won for like some world figure skating thing. She won world US champion, some shit she won for. And her husband turned around and did that shit to Nancy Kerrigan, hit her with a stick, whatever, and ruined that girl's life. She couldn't skate no more. That's why sometimes you got to know, let me get the fuck away from this person and this messed up frequency so that I can enjoy my life, because that guy ruined her life. I really believe that she didn't know nothing about that he was going to do that, because she was winning. She won. She was getting a comeback. They was interviewing her again. She was one of the best skaters. She was the only woman to do triple axels and all that. She was the shit. And she came back, and that man did that shit. And I feel like he messed up her life. You have to know when these people are he pulls her so far down into a low vibration that it destroys her damn life forever. So this is, and I'm telling you, that movie, Tanya, you got to watch that, because that movie, I saw that shit. I was like, oh no. When people are like that, get rid of them, because they could ruin your life or even kill you or some shit like that. That was so toxic. And I know she wished every day that she did not go back to him.
Again, I must have peace. I don't care who's crazy around me. I don't care who's unforgiving around me. I got to have some peace. I got to have some still waters. I got to have some tranquility. And quietness and confidence shall be your strength.
And that's another thing. I don't like anybody to come in my life to try and break my confidence. I need my confidence to do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Once I feel somebody's trying to break me down and bring my frequency down and trying to dim my light, they got to go immediately. And it is no turning back. I forgive you, but I'm done with you forever.
Somebody shout, yes! Jesus said, forgive them 7 times 70. That's a lot. In other words, whatever life throws on you, throw it off as quick as you can. Whatever comes up in your spirit, as soon as you can, release it. Because when you release it, you say, that's not mine. I'm not going to hold on to it. I'm called to something better. I'm called to something higher.
I love it when Usher was married to that older woman, and then he had some girl saying that she gave him an STD or something. And I guess they tried to interview her for it. And she said, this is not my circus, and those are not my clowns. And I just cracked up laughing. I just always remember that, because she was like, that don't have nothing to do with me. I ain't taking that on. I don't want to be bothered no more here. And that's the point he's making. It's just like, when people come with that negative energy and stuff like that, just like, that doesn't belong to me. You take that with you, go right ahead. I don't have no time for that. This don't belong to me. This person's energy. Or when people, you in a relationship and they're all a mess and they got all these financial problems, that's not my problem. I'm not taking on all your bad karma from past shit and all that. I don't want to be bothered. We have to take responsibility. It's all your fault if you get entangled in something like that.
Only chickens eat off the ground. Eagles fly through the air. I'm too high to eat that low.
That's why when people say that's beneath me, that ain't shade. that means that they have a high. It's nothing wrong with having a high opinion of stuff and want your frequency to be high, and you feel like certain people is beneath your frequency and you don't want to fuck with them because that's some dangerous shit. They could pull you down with them and you might not never get your wings back.
Any eagles in here tonight? I said, are there any eagles in here tonight?
Be an eagle.
This is your year to go to higher ground. This is your year to go to another dimension.
If you come across this video, it's meant for you to see this, and it is the time is now to make these changes. And I'm telling you, within a matter of weeks, you're gonna see a difference in your life.
This is your year to step over petty stuff and simply let it go.
So that was very inspirational. So I did like that one. All right, so you guys get where it's going. You could go in the description on the YouTube channel, and you can get any videos that you see in my on my channel and my videos. You can go, and I always put the links in there. So I'm going to share this other video with you. I'm going to try to get through this because all this is so inspiring, and I've practiced some of these things, and it really helped me. Now these are the 12 laws of karma. Everybody needs to learn these because this is going to help you too. Once you know how karma works.
Brainy Dose presents the 12 laws of karma that will change your life. Almost everyone has heard of karma. However, karma is not about punishment and reward as many people think. It's more about cause and effect. Karma is the resultant effects of your past intents and actions. Knowing about karma can be beneficial and will help influence the way you deal with others. If you want your causes to have good effects, then you need to intentionally take actions that will culminate in the positive results you desire. Mastering these actions is key to living a meaningful and fulfilling life and having karma smile at you in the end. So here are the 12 laws of karma and how you can apply them to your benefit. Number 1, the Great Law. As you sow, so shall you reap. Just as a farmer plants seeds and expects a period of harvest, whatever you sow, you will also reap. Whatever you do unto people will eventually be done unto you. When you choose to treat people right, you will discover that they often reciprocate. And
so that's what I'm saying from before is like, you don't have to have resentment and, get revenge on the people that hurt you and walk around, angry forever at somebody because whatever you put out, you're going to get back. So the more forgiveness that you exercise, the more love and understanding that you exercise, that's what you're going to get back. I swear that a lot of the reason why I survived over the pandemic without the vaccine was because I just feel like people paid forward to me a lot of things that I had done in the past. And I just feel like that was when my karmic rewards were paid to me in that time of need. So just think about that, and remember, don't exhaust your energy on things like that. Just always try to put out the positive energy, the high frequency, the good vibes, so that's what you're going to draw back to yourself. If you're in this negative state, you're going to draw negativity to you. And I had to learn that. And I'm telling you, these things work well.
And behave more positively toward you too. It may take time, as seeds often take time to grow, but your words, actions, or thoughts eventually always yield their harvest. They may return to you as love, money, or happiness. You should therefore be kind and courteous to people irrespective of the circumstance. Remember, your actions and even your reactions will come back to you somehow. Number 2, the law of creation. You attract what you are, not what you want.
There you go. Now, a lot of us need to learn this one because we don't understand why we repeat in a cycle over and over. And I had to crack the code on this and figure out what was going on, because whatever frequency you're vibrating on, that's what's going to come into the frequency with you. You might even get a lower frequency to come, but a higher one is not going to come. It's not going to happen like that. You have to elevate your frequency for that. You understand? If you want this good life, you have to manifest it. You have to get your frequency to vibrate high to get this high vibrating existence that you want to be in, or you want to, vibrate, you want to draw in these high, vibration people, then you also have to be on that vibration. Why would somebody on a high frequency want to mingle with people on a lower one? So you got to work on elevating your frequency in order to have the life that you want.
The law of creation teaches us that we are more in control of our own lives than we know. Most people often blame others for the wrong things that happen to them, instead of taking accountability and striving to shape their own destinies. Do not take a back seat in your own life.
You got to be accountable for all your shit. Because anything that goes wrong, that is on you, because you shouldn't have. You have to look at where the fault lies with you. Most of this fucked up shit that happens in our lives is our fault for the choices that we make, choosing to be with certain people, having certain people in our frequency, the way we think and different things. All of these things are our fault that we could easily change.
Seize the opportunities and ideas that come to you and make the best of them. Also, note that you eventually become whatever you continue to see around you. So surround yourself with things that are in line with where you are going and what you want to be. This doesn't mean you should try to change the people around you. If you try to do this, you may not succeed. Instead, work toward improving yourself, because only you are responsible for what happens to you. Number 3, the law of humility. What you resist persists. In life, for you to tackle problems and find solutions, you have to first admit that you have such problems and challenges. It is often
we all know the people that they're always going to be the victim. I can't stand that sometimes. Like, they never want to take responsibility for their own actions. Somebody else is always the problem. So you're going to always be stuck.
Inability to accept that we have certain struggles that hinder us from finding solutions. But you can't change a situation without coming to terms with it. When you continually see something negative going on in your life and you refuse to accept that it exists, you basically start building up negative energy against it. And unfortunately, this energy comes to reside inside of you. On the other hand, when you learn to accept that you have these problems, you come to acknowledge that the power to affect change and find solutions also rests within you. So take a proper look at your life, assessing everything thoroughly.
When I feel like this, I do lists. I do a lot of journaling and I do lists, and I try to use my discernment to help me make these decisions of, what positive traits, what negative traits I have and things like that. And I also do lists on other people too, as to whether or not I want to let them in my energy. Because I'm telling you, you have to really protect your frequency and your energy and stuff, because you don't want to allow somebody to come in there to knock you down.
Both the negatives and the positives. Accept your reality and where you're at. Then you will find the strength to make the necessary changes. Number 4, the law of growth. Wherever you go, there you will be. If you want to grow and make your dreams and visions a reality, you have to realize that your inner life controls the outer world. Your thoughts eventually become what you act upon, and your actions frame your world. To change your world and grow, you have to change its core fabric, your thoughts. Harboring negative thoughts will create a negative environment, while positive thinking is the...
And if you and we've all been around people like this that's very negative, and they just be like, oh, they just bring you down, and you don't really like to be around them. You don't like to really talk to them and stuff like that. So it's along the same lines. Like, whatever you're thinking inside, you're exuding to the outside. And you're in this low, heavy vibration, and nobody wants to sit with you in that shit. They don't. I have a friend that has cancer and she's really sick, but I feel like she has the highest vibration. And for somebody as sick as her, and I know people that have other illnesses, but I feel like she's more sick than all of them. She just has this personality that is like, oh my God, like she just is just always in this high vibrating state, no matter how sick she gets. And she very inspiring to me in that regard.
Only thing that will build you a positive world. Keep restructuring your reality by improving your thoughts and choices, and you will grow to achieve all that you dream of. Number 5, the law of responsibility. Our lives are of our own doing, nothing else. This law, like the law of creation, focuses on the fact that our reality is a continuous reflection of our state of mind. When you notice commotion and turmoil around you, you have to start taking responsibility for the situation you find yourself in. Start taking steps to get out of these kinds of situations by taking time to engage in deep inner reflection and pursuing peace.
That's what I had to do. Like when I feel like I'm in them situations where it's just too tumultuous and I don't know what to do, I just remove myself out of the situation. I would get myself away from everybody that's involved, and I take time to reflect alone without any outside interest. I mean, any outside people, any outside opinions and everything like that. And I just really go inside and try to really work it out myself.
Even when something terrible happens to you unexpectedly, do not waste time mulling over the experience. Instead, learn the lessons and take responsibility for making things better. When you become responsible for all your thoughts and actions, you have a sense of control, which is necessary to push yourself forward. Number 6, the law of connection. Everything you do is somehow connected. The past, present, and the future are all connected, and your past and present hold significant sway over your future. You should realize that no one step will suddenly shoot you into that future of your dreams. Every single step you have ever taken and the ones you take right now are equally important. Your future is actually a culmination of your previous choices and steps, so all of them count. Therefore, make an effort to take steps which are consistent with your destination. Only that way can you get there.
See, we
Number
are
7,
impatient.
the law
like,
of focus.
We are impatient.
You cannot think of two things at the same time. In your quest for improvement, it is vital that you concentrate on the things that truly matter. The law of focus helps you place your attention on.
Hold on, this is talking about focus, but I just want to say, a lot of times we're very impatient, and like sometimes seeds that you planted years ago will come back to elevate you later in life. So everything that you do, people want instant gratification, and I know I'm guilty of this too. Like even like with this channel, like I do it for a little while. It's not enough people watching. I give up over the years multiple times. But this time I was like, okay, had a conversation with a friend. I said I will be more consistent, and I saw a friend say that a couple of friends that I know that are YouTubers and other YouTubers I watched on here saying that, you know, it don't happen overnight. Like it took time. Some of them, it took them years to get the following that they have, you know. So, you know, we can't expect instant gratification. You just have to find your passion and just know that you're going to manifest it. You have to have faith
on those values that will primarily assist you in attaining the heights you seek. Focusing on positive emotions, development, and goals will leave you with no time to focus on negative things. And that's a good thing, isn't it? When you find yourself in not so pleasant circumstances, always look on the brighter side. It might be a difficult thing to.
I always tell everybody this: when I'm having a problem or a situation that it's uncomfortable or negative, I don't focus on what's wrong. I focus on what's right, and I move in the direction of what is going right.
But when you form the habit of recognizing the lessons in negative events, you will learn from these experiences and get even better. Number 8, the law of giving and hospitality. Demonstrating our selflessness shows true intentions. It is impossible to have a belief that wouldn't reflect in our actions. Truthfully, our actions are short.
This, later. I just want to skip past some of these. What was this one?
You is created without a patient mindset. Reward comes with being patient. No matter how long it takes, if you persistently continue to sow the seeds of hard work, in time, the reward will eventually come. You have to continue to persist and make decisions that are consistent with your goals.
Exactly. Make decisions consistent with your goals. If you don't align yourself with people that are not a part of your goals. And I had to learn that too, because that's a distraction and that will drag down your frequency around reaching the dream and the goal that you have. You got to stay focused on your dream and surround yourself with people that's going to help you to get to that.
Focus on the process and do your best every day. Don't get caught up in comparing yourself to others who are seemingly achieving more. If you truly understand your worth, you won't bother with comparisons. Hard work eventually pays off, even if it takes time. You just have to be patient. Number 12, the law of significance and inspiration. The best reward is one that contributes to the whole. This last law and the first law are quite similar. The first law focuses on the individual, while the last law focuses on the collective effects of actions. It is true that you will eventually reap what you sow, but we should also realize that our individual decisions and actions become our eventual contributions to society.
And this is very true, or at least this is how I perceive this, is that a lot of times when we're working on things, we're just thinking of I, me. I want more money. I want a more car. I want another house, whatever. But like, if you're putting out into the universe that I want to do this to help others, it's like an even higher elevation than just doing it for you and your family. It's like when you're thinking outside of yourself to what you're creating, what you want to do to help change the world or your community or whatever, you're going to have even more of a give back. You know what I'm saying? From the universe or God or whatever the case may be.
All of our intentions and actions build up massive energy that creates results that affect all of us. This energy is eventually transmitted into our society and the world at large. So make sure your actions provide value and inspiration to others.
There you go.
Make a conscious effort to be good to people. Pursue your goals and passions. Lead by
And it could just be as simple as everywhere you go, you smile at people and tell them good morning, have a nice day. You know, all of that helps your frequency, and you're building a frequency of someone else, you know.
Example. Whether you believe in karma or not, you can probably agree that these laws contain fundamental principles and wisdom that anyone and everyone can apply to make life better. To live a life of impact you genuinely desire, mastering these 12 laws of karma will prove very useful in your quest for fulfillment. What do you think?
Okay, so you guys get where that's gone. But the bottom line is, and like I said, if you practice these things that I'm showing you, when I tell you in a matter of a couple of weeks, you will elevate and you will see a change in yourself, and then you're going to see a change in your world around you and the people that start coming towards you. It's like once I started doing that, I just started seeing a change in just everything. Even like how me and my son got along, and you know, we just became even closer than we were before. And you know, I just started having better relationships with the people that I'm around, and the universe on its own was just like purging people from my life, you know, or God, whatever you want to call. It was just purging people from my life that just didn't serve me well or whatever. So once you start getting raising your frequency, it's like all those low frequency people are going to just start falling off, you know. So here's one last video that I want to show you, and I thought this was pretty deep. So let's look at this. And I always say this video is going to be short and it ends up being long, but I just like everything to be in one place, and then I'll make shorts out of them and stuff like that. But if you watch the whole video, you get the full effect. Wait, is this the right one? Hold up, y'all. No, this is not the right one. Hold on, y'all. Let me pull this video up again. Hold on. Sorry, guys. So while I pull this video up, I will, you know, streaming is, especially doing it live like this. A lot of the reason why I do it live like this, because I don't want to edit. A lot of people edit their videos. I don't edit mine. It is what it is. And you with me on the ride in real time, live. Okay, this one. Not that one. Hold on, y'all. Let me get it. Is it? Yep, this one. Okay. All right. I want to show you this video because I like this. All right. Okay, so here we go. Now I can present my screen again. And if I make this a short, sometimes I edit stuff out like this and sometimes I don't. It's just up in here and it is what it is. Genuine. Hold on, y'all. Okay, what is going on? Why can't I get this to? I'm just going to present my screen. Okay, let's get it together. Okay, let's go.
I found them to be really powerful. I said them out loud on my way to the tube this morning. I do it every day.
This video is really
So I know they're powerful, but I have never thought why they're powerful and how that whole subconscious works. And I was just wondering if I could get your thoughts on that.
Monks have been using.
Now, this is the truth. They're saying you can reprogram your subconscious mind. Your mind and your consciousness is like a computer, so you can program it. And if you notice, the media does it all the time. They reprogram us all the time, you know. And like you can program yourself with certain affirmations.
Affirmations forever, mantras, as they call it in Sanskrit. We use these beats to chant on, and a lot of times people say these are prayer beats. But we actually, yeah, you could say they're prayer beats, but we're actually more like affirmation or mantra beats. So we use these to actually program our subconscious. So as we chant on each beat, we chant an affirmation. I am happy, or I'm confident. And we repeat the same chant over and over again. And there are 108 beats in here, so you can imagine how your subconscious gets programmed.
And you memorize like 108 different chants.
Oh, well, it's just one chant.
One chant, okay.
One chant over and over again. So it's I'm happy or I'm confident. You repeat it 108 times. So with affirmation, 3 ingredients are necessary. Concise choice of positive words, clear visualization, and a corresponding feeling. And most people don't understand this when it comes to affirmation. They just say the words, but no visualization and no feeling. So for example, if I say, I love apples, concise choice of positive words. Now, when I say the word I, my mind knows I'm talking about me. When I say the word love, my mind knows that he likes it, he enjoys it, he adores it. That's what love means to him. When I say the word apples, my mind gets confused. Because it's searching my entire hard drive, my entire subconscious from the day I was born for every occurrence of the word apple. Red apple, green apples, yellow apples, Honeycrisp apples, Red Delicious, Fuji apples, Washington apples, Apple MacBook Pro, MacBook Air, Apple Watch, iWatch, Apple iPhone, Apple iPad. What apples is he talking about? I have no idea, right? So words alone is not enough. So that's why we have visualization. So when I say, I love apples, and I visualize a bright red apple, my mind goes, oh, that's what he's talking about. I love apples. He loves bright red apples. It's a particular type of apple. It's a Washington or Honeycrisp apple, which has a little yellowish tint to it.
Okay.
So that's why words and visualization are important.
Okay.
And that's why they say you have to have very clear vision when it comes to your dreams. You have to be very clear. I have a vision board and I keep the vision board. And when I was making my vision board, I was like, damn, I forgot all about that dream. You know, so that's why you should journal and really try to think about your dreams on a regular basis. I have my vision board in a place where I see it every single day.
Then feeling is emotion is energy. And you know the famous scientist Tesla, not personally, but obviously through reputation, he had this beautiful saying which kind of encapsulates Hindu philosophy really well. He said that to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Everything is made up of energy that's vibrating at a certain frequency. Right? So the chant has molecules and atoms that are vibrating a certain frequency, binding it together, creating a certain matter. So what we believe is that if your subconscious is filled with patterns that are vibrating at a certain frequency. Anger could be vibrating at 20 kilohertz, happiness at 30 kilohertz. I don't know what the numbers are. I'm just making.
So he's making up the numbers, but I just know that like the frequency of God is 963 hertz. And then they say like 460 something hertz frequency can really heal the body. And that's why the music is so shitty, because it's destroying your whole being. You know, if they put all the music in a higher frequency, it would heal everybody, and the world would probably be more peaceful if everybody was just fed this high frequency of positivity. So it's really deep. I'm gonna probably do a video on frequencies one day, but for now, you guys should just really look into the frequencies. And they have music that you can listen to on YouTube that's like high vibrating frequency music and stuff like that. And I kind of do feel rested when I sleep to music like that.
Stuff up in terms of numbers, but everything is vibrating at a certain frequency. And if you can go into your subconscious and create a pattern, infuse it with energy that's vibrating at a certain frequency, you can attract things of a similar nature to it. So
that's just kind of like what I was saying before, like wherever frequency you're on, you're going to attract similar to that frequency. So if you're on a shitty frequency, you're going to attract shitty people. If you're on a high frequency, you're going to attract people on a high frequency. If you want to have a better life, you have to raise your frequency.
If I go into my subconscious, I repeat an affirmation, which has a concise choice of positive words, clear visualization. I infuse a feeling into it. What does it feel like? Right? And it starts to vibrate in my subconscious with that frequency. Now it attracts anything of a similar vibration or similar frequency to.
And you have to believe and have faith that this works, or it's not going to work. You have to believe that this technique that he's showing you is going to work, and it's going to work. I'm telling you, it works.
To give you a very simple example, boy dates girl. They go out for 2 years. They have a great intimate relationship. They break up. Boy hangs out with his friends to get over the relationship. The girl does, chocolate, shopping, wine therapy with her girlfriends for 6 months, finally says, I'm over him. She starts dating again. Who does she attract into her life? Quite often a similar guy.
Now pay attention very closely, because we all do this. Pay attention to why she keeps attracting the same kind of man.
Different person, but with the same vibration. Same type of person. I've had so many people come up to me, boys and girls, say, I keep attracting the same type of person into my life. Common thing I hear all the time. Why? Because John dates Sue. They have 2 years of a relationship. Sue has vibrations that are emotional experiences that are vibrating at the frequency of John in her subconscious. They break up. Those experiences are still vibrating at the frequency of John in her subconscious. Now she goes to date. Who does she attract? Another John named Peter of a similar frequency. And that just happens. So energy doesn't know how to discriminate between what's good for you and what's not good for you. It's just energy. So anything of a similar frequency gets drawn to you.
Can y'all please pay attention? Anything that is of the similar frequency is going to get drawn to you. So if you stay in that shitty frequency, don't be surprised if your life is going to be full of turmoil and a hot ass mess. You have to get rid of the people and situations that keep you in that low frequency, or you're just going to attract more.
So if you know how the subconscious works and you know how to program it using affirmations with a clear concise choice of positive words, clear visualization, and a corresponding feeling being the most important component, because it's the actual energy that attracts.
You heard what he said. The feelings of what you're manifesting is what's going to create the vibration. So you have to see it and you have to feel it. The feelings that go with what you're manifesting. What is really going to bring you joy in life? Really, really think about that. How does it feel? The love that you want to have, the relationship or whatever. What is it going to feel like to you? What are the emotions or whatever? You got to really think about that, and this is something new for me, is learning about the feelings, because I really always feel like I was manifesting. But the thoughts and the emotions that go to what I'm seeing, that was something that I wasn't practicing. So I'm going to work on that.
Then you can bring into your life anything you want.
So that was really deep, y'all. So I hope that this was helpful to y'all, because it was helpful to me. I learned a lot. And the reason why I wanted to make that video, because I just realized that even in my own life, you repeat similar cycles in life and you don't understand why. But I just showed you why. And work on these things, manifestation, and trying to elevate your frequency and keeping your thoughts pure and focused on your. Oh God, I hate when people keep calling me when I'm on my And you know, watch these videos and go find more, and you know, just really try to work hard on elevating your frequency, because I've been working on that, and I can't tell you how much my life has changed. And like, once you elevate your frequency, it's so many other good things are going to change in your life. Like, once I started working on this has been a couple of years, but like, I moved into a better place. Like, I started to have the time I wanted with my son, because that was something I was manifesting, that I wanted to be home a little bit more. Um, I stopped smoking weed. I started going to the gym. Like, everything just started coming into place without me really having to put a whole huge amount of effort into it. I mean, it's not like, oh, you're going to manifest, it's going to happen the same day, but usually it starts coming together rather quickly. The more positive energy you're putting out there, the faster you're going to, you know, elevate your frequency. You know, the more you work at it, the faster it's going to happen. And I guarantee you, your life is going to improve for the better. And if nothing else, you're going to feel better about yourself, and you're going to exude that out into the universe. And you're just going to draw better people to you. You know, you're just going to have better experiences by not being in this low frequency. Nobody wants to be around people that are in a high vibration. Do not want to be with these low vibrating people, because you're going to bring them down. And I just keep thinking about Tanya Harding, because that girl, I'm telling you, she was a very good skater, and she was making her come back. She did all that hard work on herself. She did so much hard work on herself. She trained hard, everything, and she won the competition. She was back. And then she went back to that low frequency motherfucker, and it ruins her whole life to this day. So we don't want to be like that. You know what I mean? Shout out Tanya Harding, because I really like her. And that story really like changed my mind of like, I don't want to hang on to no low frequency person, because they could really ruin your life forever. Like Tanya Harding. Go watch that movie, I Tanya. I implore any woman to watch that, because you know, that was a trip of how she was coming back, and she got back with that man, and it ruins her life forever. You understand? Because she got on that frequency with that low ass person, and he dragged her all the way down, all the way down. So y'all better learn it. You better learn it. I tell you, that movie was like pivotal for me, because when I saw that, I was like, okay, Lord, I see where this is going. Let me keep it moving. Okay, so I am Shelly B. I appreciate y'all. Whoever sat through this whole video, I love you and I appreciate you. And I guarantee you, if you sat through this whole video, you elevated your frequency just right with sitting with me through this. And I appreciate you and I love you. 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 So I'm going to go now. I was on here longer than expected, like I am every time, but I just love it, and I enjoy sharing this information, and I'm learning with you. You know, whenever I put these videos up here, I'm learning something new too, and I like to learn something new every day. You know, if I didn't work so much and had so many other responsibilities, I probably would come on here much more. But you know, I got to balance out my time. So I appreciate y'all. I love you. Thanks for sitting with me. I am Shelly B, and I'm going to end the stream now. Have a good evening.